back to my channel. I'm Tanya if you're new here. So I wanted to make a video talking about kind of like things I wish I would have known before I became a mom, or like kind of things that I'm going through that I wish I had went through before. Does that make sense? I want to start this like little mom series of chats with y'all to kind of inform you and give you some insight on motherhood if you are not a mother, or if you are a mother. I would love to talk about this with y'all, because I feel so much of motherhood feels like it's only happening to you, and I'm pretty sure it's not, but I feel like I also don't have anybody to talk about this stuff with. It does very much feel like it's only happening to me. So this is probably like episode 1 of like this mom series of mom chats. So hope you guys decide to stick around and watch the video. So the first thing I want to talk about is so many things that they tell you when you're expecting, especially your first baby. It's like the no sleeping, the oh my god, like make sure you get plenty, you know, the sleep, the endless nights, like they make a big deal of. And I don't think people make a big deal enough of how like you as a person are gonna change. Like, not even in regards like to your child, if that makes sense. Like of course your life's gonna change because you have a kid that you need to take care of and they're your priority, or should be, but how you're gonna respond to it and handle it, I don't think that's talked enough. And so much of that for me has been like reflecting on like my childhood and why am I like this as a parent. And I don't, honestly, I don't think I've realized like if you've never watched any of my videos, I have 3 kids. I have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So I had my kids very back to back. So I feel like I didn't even have a moment to like think. I was just, you know, surviving. So I feel like that's why it's hitting me all this year, that how can I be the best parent I could be, especially with my 4-year-old, like talking way more. He knows exactly what I'm saying. He keeps me accountable of what I say. So it matters to me what my child thinks of me. I don't want my child like to become an adult and he's like, that's my mom. So the first thing I want to talk about is like how becoming a mom makes you self-reflect. I don't know how you grew up, but I grew up getting spanked, and I don't have any like horror stories with that. It was just like if we got in trouble, and then I don't think I got spanked after like middle school, I want to say. I was very much like, if you took away my phone, I will do what you need to do. I've always been attached to my phone apparently. So I don't have traumas regarding that. So to me, in my mind, that was never wrong, because that wasn't my trauma. And like the more research and stuff is coming out, and like even speaking to my sister, and my sister has her master's in like early education, and she teaches kids and how harmful for them it is to like hit and all this stuff. And that's just like stuff that I don't know, like that I didn't grow up with. So like I didn't like the, you know, the whole, I think you see it everywhere, the gentle parenting. I don't know why I did quotations, but the whole gentle parenting is like such a big thing. So if you hit your child, you're horrible. And I'm not here to tell you do this or do that, but it's just, I didn't think about that when I became a mom. Like, I guess a lot has to do with what age I had my kids. Like, I had my first at 22 or 23. 23. I didn't, like, I was just trying to go through the motions and, you know, make this child survive. Make sure he's fed and, you know, has all the basic life needs. And you're not really parenting then, so you're not dealing with tantrums and stuff like that. So I just didn't realize how much your childhood and like how your parents are with you affects how you parent and affects how you are as a person. I'm actually reading this book right now. I think it's called It Didn't Start With You. I'll show you right here. But it has really like opened my eyes of like how you are the way you are. And I know with the more kids, well, for me, the more patience I have, so that has helped me. And even like for like holidays, a lot of stuff you see, like people go all out for Christmas, for almost every holiday, and I didn't grow up having that. And I'm not trying to shame my parents, but like I think the only holiday, like growing up, I don't remember a Christmas. When I started remembering Christmases is when I moved to Texas, and we would fly to California again. We would fly for the holidays to see my dad, and that's when I started remembering Christmas. I don't remember bad or good. I just don't remember it. The only thing I really remember like being celebrated was my birthday. And it's so funny because I hate my birthday. I don't hate my birthday, but like I'm not like, oh my god, it's my birthday. No. And it's not even because I'm getting older. I don't care. So I don't know. I just didn't like, it's like figuring out the mom you want to be. And when you have examples that you're like, I don't really want to follow that, let me try something else, is the difficult part. Because also to your family, you're like, so even, I mean, I'm Mexican. My parents are fully blown Mexican, from Mexico, born in Mexico. They came here a while ago, but like sleep training, sleep sacks, all this stuff, gentle parenting, talk to your kids, like don't instill fear in them so they're able, like all those things were not something, you know, my parents thought about. And for good reasons, right? They were immigrants. I mean, I think they were just trying to survive as well. But you just don't realize all your family stuff, how it gets dumped on you. And when you become a parent, and like me, how it was unexpected. I wasn't planning this, my first pregnancy, and you know, had all this vision board of how I wanted to be as a parent. Honestly, I hadn't really thought about it. Even like when it came to like formula breastfed, I was just like, does it work? Does it work? Okay, let's do it. So just like something to think about when, if you're a new mom, like how do I want to be as a parent? Like how do I want my child to see me, is something that I think about every day. Because my ultimate goal is like whenever my kid is older, that they want to hang out with me, that they choose to hang out with me, they choose to call me. Because those are a lot of things that I'm missing, like as an adult. Like I was raised very independently. I don't, you know, when you hear people say, oh, my mom's my first phone call, or my parents, whatever, that is not me. My first phone call is my husband. And before it wasn't my husband, it would be my best friend. If, you know, just to vent if she couldn't help me, you know, or actually my sisters, really. So just something to think about. The things you do now will like shape them as an adult. And even like if there's a period that they don't remember, they will remember. And that's just coming up above from like my experience, and you always want to do better than your parents, right? Like the way something that you didn't like with your parents, you're trying to make the best, even if it's like not a big deal, like, you know, it didn't cause you trauma, like you love your parents, but you obviously always are, well, I'm always striving to do more for my kids. Another thing that I would say in the beginning of parenthood, like I had no patience. I had a lot of rage and I didn't know why. I am still like, I've been a mom for almost, my oldest will be 5 this year, so it's about to be 5 years, and I feel like I'm just now like, I didn't realize how hurt I was as a child, and I didn't realize how that would affect me as a parent. And I've been like reading books and articles about all this stuff of like, why am I snapping at my kids like so much when something's not a big deal? And that for real like hurts my feelings. Like I don't want to be like yelling at them all the time, and I need to have more patience and be more kind. I just want to be the best mom obviously I could be. So I know, and it's a hard thing to do. It's even hard for me, like realizing like why you are the way you are, and just having to look inward and knowing that you don't want to be those things, because I often feel sad like for the mom I was to my first, like in those, like, you know, when they start throwing tantrums like that year to 2 year, like I was so harsh on him and I feel horrible about it. Like all he needed was like some patience and kindness, and I mean I just didn't realize, honestly, because that's how I was raised. Like I didn't know any different until like I educated myself. And I think that's the difference too. Like some people just might not know, you know? And before you become a mom, and if you haven't thought about all these things, it'd be nice. It would actually do you so much of a service for you and your motherhood journey. Another thing I want to talk about is, like, I was talking about how you want to be the better than your parents to your kids, right? And breaking cycles and stigmas. I think in the Mexican culture, a lot of things are left like hush hush, like if you did something or whatever the scenario is, like how women should be serving their men, and like it's just a lot associated with, and I'm sure it's in every culture, especially when you come from immigrants, because I've even I have a lot of Vietnamese co-workers at my job, and I'll be like, even for, you know, when you get hurt and they're like, just suck it up, just suck it up. Not going to my kids and being like, because I'm your mom, you owe me the world. Like, no, I chose to have you, I chose to bring you in this world, and I will do my best to have this best relationship with you, but it's ultimately up to you. You don't owe me anything, and that's my big deal. Our kids don't owe us anything. We brought them in this world for our happiness, and like, you know, to have kids, like, to put all this pressure on kids that they owe you a big deal. And I think that's one of the things that I can't get over, how in my culture that you owe everything to your parents, because although they did come from way less than you also don't have this like generational wealth. And I'm not specifically talking about money, I'm talking about like knowledge, like how to get your license, what to do when you get in a car accident, like stuff like that you have to figure out on your own, because your parents don't know how. They don't, like some Mexican parents don't even speak the language. It's up to you to figure that out. So I feel I don't like the stigma of because they are your parents or because they are a family member. That is something I am not passing on to my kids, because it doesn't matter who they are. Do they respect you? Do they respect your boundaries? Do they bring you peace in your life? Like all these things. And if yes, then cool. And I don't think and it's hard to talk about that too, because my kids are little. Like I'm not going through that right now. I think I'm going through that more as an adult with my parents, and that's just something I'm thinking about, that our kids don't owe us anything. They don't owe us anything. Like it is our job to provide for them, bring them peace and all the, you know, things you need to do as a parent. But it's not your job to tell them, oh, because I'm your mom. No. Another thing I would say is, like, whenever you become a mom, like I feel like so I was saying that, you know, I feel like this is only happening to me. I feel lonely. Like and also I don't have time to go and hang out with girlfriends. And I think that's so much of why I wanted to start YouTube, to build this community, talk about these things, because most of the time you just feel so alone. And so I've actually just distanced myself away from people that don't get it or don't even try to get it. Like my best friend doesn't have kids, and she's not a mom, but we are still best friends since high school. So that is 10 years now. And it's just, you don't need to agree with everything I'm saying, but I should be able to tell you what I feel without, you know, if I'm coming to you as a friend, like, hey, this bothered me, you know what I mean? And like I feel like the more I'm maturing and becoming more myself, I've distanced myself away from people. And I just didn't realize becoming a mom would like make me feel like I can't relate to a lot of people, or just make me feel alone. Because, you know, you have kids, like your kids are there, but like you're not going to talk to your kids about these problems. So that's been difficult for me, because I feel like the more, like it's truly what they say, when you become a mom you lose so many of your friends, and that's fine, because they weren't your friends to start off with for whatever reason, you know. So that's been a tough pill to swallow for me, but it is what it is now. And I'd rather be surrounded by one person that really loves me than 10 that, you know, are just there. I think to summarize everything though, I feel like I always go off on tangents, but the first thing would be to look inward. What kind of parent do you want to be? What cycles do you want to break, if there's any? And if they are not bringing you peace, you don't need them. So I hope y'all enjoyed talking about all these things that I honestly did not think about when I became a mom. What I was thinking about was, how am I going to keep a child alive? You know, there's just so many things obviously you have to think about once you become a mom, and the inner homework that you have to do is not talked about enough, of how important it is, especially for your own self-care, and still realizing like how you feel matters. I know you have these beautiful little babies, but how you feel matters. So just, if you feel like stuck or anything, things that have helped me as well as reading, venting, and I really should start therapy soon, because if you haven't heard me talk before or watched any of my videos, but I just have a lot of homework to do, and I just wanted to open up, like make a video of my experience as I'm going through it. It's definitely a work in progress. Like, these are all things that I am going through. And if you have any words of encouragement or anything you would like to add, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. But I also have Instagram if you want to follow me on there for more like daily content. Follow me on there. But I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.